Hey guys, it's me, Nick, and I'm joined with Silvery.
Again.
Again, we're literally recording this
Sorry.
right after doing another discussion on Super Nintendo World, which might go up later or never.
Oh,
depending on
speaking
what I
of
feel like.
Super Nintendo.
We're talking about the Super Nintendo SNES Classic Edition, which
Wow.
who did not see this coming?
I honestly didn't expect this.
I didn't expect it this soon. I didn't expect an announcement after E3, basically. I didn't expect it to come out in September. And I didn't expect it to have fucking Star Fox 2, the never released game. But we'll talk more in depth about all
I
those
was really
things.
expecting the Nintendo console to get a revival next after the NES was going to be the Virtual Boy, but
Okay, so we're talking about the SNES Classic Edition. Basically, everything about it, our hopes, what we're happy to see, what we feel like is missing from it. But in case you don't know, it's basically a Super Nintendo plug-and-play console, just like the NES Classic Edition, which me and Silvery actually are lucky enough to both have one. So
and mine can already play all the games that have been released
that's true.
for the SNES Classic.
He modded his NES Classic
Well, because
Edition.
the hardest thing about modding the NES Classic is buying an NES Classic.
Yeah, that's something we'll get into. But
And here's hoping this one's just as easy to fucking
find.
hack into.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna say find because I don't give a shit.
SNES Classic Edition releases on, I'm not sure the date exactly, September 29th, I believe. It's for $7.99 US.
Nintendo's got a good September this year.
Yes, Nintendo has amazing September this year, but it comes with 21 Super Nintendo games, and they are Super Mario World, F-Zero, Super Mario Kart, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Street Fighter 2, Kirby Superstar, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, Super Punch-Out, Final Fantasy 3 or 6, Contra 3, Castlevania 4, Kirby's Dream Course, Secret of Mana, Donkey Kong Country, Star Fox, Earthbound, Mega Man X, Yoshi's Island, Super Ghosts and Goblins, I can barely see it on the image, and the literally never before released Star Fox 2. Now, let me tell you, compared to the 30 game, it sounds like a disappointment to have only 21 games compared to the 30.
Yeah, but there's no fucking Ice Climber.
Yeah, there's no shovelware on this console. The NES Classic has a lot. Sorry for the audio. I keep on turning around at my NES Classic. But
Did the NES Classic have a balloon fight?
yes, it did. The
Okay,
NES
good.
Classic was good.
Making sure.
It was good. It had Super Mario 1, 2, 3, Zelda 1, Zelda 2. But other than that, and a couple of other games like Mega Man 2 and some other
Some asshole managed to slip Castlevania 2 onto it.
There's a lot of like not great and a lot of shovelware games on the NES Classic filled with that 30.
Don't say shovelware, just like
Okay, I wouldn't say shovelware because like shovelware is more like third party. These are like first party, but the thing with the NES is that it was like one of the first real video game consoles, and there was a lot of games that were testing the waters. Like obviously, like I said, we have the Marios, we have the Zeldas, and then we have like Mega Mans, but like I didn't play all the games on my NES Classic Edition. I would play every single one of the games on here, except maybe like one, and we'll get into that later. I'm not mad that it's in there, but I just might not play it like ever, or two. I'm looking now. But I think this is so much better than the NES Classic. It's more expensive, but at the same time, you do get an extra controller, and the games are of more quality, and you get in some really good like third-party games like Super Mario RPG, not third-party, like second-party and third-party. But
Final Fantasies.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, Yoshi's Island, and like I said, I would play alone $40 just to play Star Fox 2. So
That's the thing that's really interesting about this is up until this point, the original Star Fox and the original Yoshi's Island have never been re-released on Virtual Console because
the FX
I think it's
chip.
because the licensing with the FX chip is all over the place. So it's really cool to see them, especially Yoshi's Island.
I didn't know. Yeah, we've had the Yoshi Island port for the GBA on like multiple different consoles, but we've never had the original. And the original is a lot more colorful. Obviously, the sound is better because the sound on the SNES
Screen's not as zoomed in.
Yeah, so like that's honestly amazing. And I didn't know that there was a licensing issue with the Super FX chip, so that's cool to know. I have the original Star Fox and I played it, and I love that game. That game is actually pretty fun for like as old and dated as it seems. But
well, I mean, if it wasn't fun, they wouldn't have kept remaking it.
Oh my gosh. But this game lineup is so good. I'm gonna say the few games that he could have dealt without, and like it, I'm not against any of these games. They're just the games that he could have dealt without. So Super Ghouls and Goblins, I feel I could have dealt without. Contra 3.
Yeah, I mean,
Contra 3 is good.
Oh, whoa, not Contra 3. Contra 3 is fine.
Contra 3 is good, but I might have preferred to see like Super Bomberman or something from Konami.
Well, I mean, Bomberman wasn't on the NES.
Dude, yeah, it's Super NES. It was on this. There was Super Bomberman.
No, it wasn't on the NES Classic.
I mean, but they don't need to continue with games like it's nice for certain ones, I guess, like with Super Punch-Out. Obviously, you're gonna have Punch-Out in the first one, but Super Punch-Out, I was just like, oh yeah, that exists and it's here. But the other game that I'm not mad at Sarah. This is a phenomenal game for and surprisingly great for what it is Kirby's Dream Course. I'm very happy it's here, but I'm like, if you're gonna tell me the 3 games I could have not had on the system and still be happy, if I had to take off 3 out the list, it would be Super Ghouls and Goblins, Contra 3, and Kirby's Dream Course, because we already have a Kirby representation. So I'm
gonna stop you right there.
Why? Oh, actually, you know what? I'd probably take out Super Mario Kart instead.
No, hold on. Whoa.
I'd rather have Kirby's Dream Course than Super Mario Kart. Because
I'm gonna say this right now. I would say out of everything on the Super Nintendo, Kirby's Dream Course, and they're marketing it with the second controller, Kirby's Dream Course has, I would say, hands down, the best multiplayer experience out of any Super Nintendo game, except maybe Goof Troop.
I haven't played it. That's another thing. The Super NES is actually a little bit more expensive, but that's also, I think I mentioned it before thinking back now, but it comes with the second controller, which is awesome because the controllers were pretty hard to find themselves unless they were third party. So it's nice to have both controllers out of the box.
The cords are 5 feet now.
Yeah, they're a little bit longer. I have an extension cord, and they're actually, I don't know what the official port's called, but it's the same one for the NES Classic, so you can technically connect your NES Classic Edition controller in the SNES Classic, but it won't work as properly because there's not enough buttons. But that's really good because I have an extension cable, so I don't have to buy more extension cables. So that's good. So you go ahead with what you were gonna say about
going back to. No, I was just saying I think it deserves to be on here because it is an incredible. It's a really good multiplayer game.
Yeah. And it's it's just a really good game, like a great game overall. Like I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good for single player. It's a pretty good puzzle game.
I love watching the Game Grumps play it. Like even though it's a ROM hack, but like it's a fun game. Like Jesus, I like it.
Well, I mean they play the original one.
Yeah, exactly. But
going back to what you were saying with games that don't need to be on here, I really think Super Ghouls and Ghosts seems to be like the most common one. In terms of Capcom, I would have much rather preferred Mega Man 7, which is, I'm the only person who will say that's the best Mega Man game.
You know what? I gotta say, I'm looking now, and it's probably just because there's so many different versions of this game. But why do we need another version of Street Fighter? Like, I understand the console has multiplayer attributes, but they literally just ported a new version of Street Fighter for $40 on the Switch. Like,
yeah,
God,
I'm nicer.
I understand, but like, God, fucking damn, I don't. Why give me Street Fighter again?
So I mean, also with games, honestly, Secret of Mana.
That's cool. I wish we would have gotten Chrono Trigger. I would have rather had 19 games and had Chrono Trigger, like take out Super Street Fighter 2 and Ghouls and Goblins, Super Ghouls and Goblins, and put in Secret of Mana. I mean, Chrono Trigger, and I think this would have been perfect.
I don't think Secret of Mana. I mean, I would rather have Chrono Trigger, just because I don't really like Secret of Mana that much. But I get why they did it, because the game does have multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: that game has 3-player multiplayer. How is that going to work on this console?
The ports on the front aren't the classic controller ports.
You mean like the classic SNES controller ports? They look like
I mean like the Wii classic controller. I'm pretty sure they have the Wii classic controller ports on the back.
No, what it is that it's kind of like a Switch game card thing, like a little piece of plastic that it has hinges and you take off. At least this is how it looked, how it is in the SNES, the Super Famicom version, the Japanese one. You pull it off like as if you're opening a game to put into your Switch, and it just kind of hangs there. Which I'm not sure I'm a super big fan of, but whatever. Like,
oh man, I'm stupid then.
Yeah.
Cut that part out. I don't want everyone to know that I was. I'm serious.
Okay, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so I mean, it's not a big thing. Like Secret of Mana can't have 2-player, I think. But it's cool to have that game.
Also,
now, tell me a game.
Also, games that. No. One more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, cut me off, Nick.
Sorry. Go.
When I'm hot about this. Let me tell you this. Get rid of Donkey Kong Country.
But this is what I was getting into. Tell me one game that you want on the system that's not here.
Goof Troop, but that's not gonna happen. So let's go with Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah, I would have loved if they put the whole trilogy in here, because that would have been really good.
No, we don't need 3.
No,
3's alright.
If you're gonna put 1 and 2, you gotta put 3. But
3's fine, but they didn't do it with Castlevania on the NES. They just left us with the really good one and the really shitty one. We didn't even get the 3rd one.
But that's not a Nintendo-made game.
Then why did we get 2 of them?
I don't know, man. So, dude, I think I had to agree with you that the one game, though, that I would have wanted. Like, tell me other great Super Nintendo games that I'm missing out on here. I think I just would want Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 if they could, I guess.
Honestly, and no, I don't think anyone's gonna agree with me on this one, because I don't think anyone's ever brought this game up. Wild Guns.
What? Didn't they just ported that to the PS4? I think they had like a new.
No, yeah, I know, but it's a great game.
I was looking at a list. There really is like they got all the big games for the system. There's other stuff obviously that I can't really think of right now, but that's just saying how well they
Kirby
did.
Stream Land 3.
Yeah, but they got the best Kirby game in there, so.
Yeah, Dream Courses.
Yeah, and by the best I mean best on the SNES. I still think Robobot is the best. Bless up, Robobot.
Oh my god. Yoshi's Cookie is missing.
Yeah, but they had Yoshi on the NES Classic, so.
Well, I don't care. Oh, you know what game actually? It's kind of pretty surprising that it's not on here.
What?
Pilot Wings.
Yeah, I heard that people were surprised Pilot Wing is in here, because that seems like, let's say there was a Pilot Wing.
That was a launch title.
Yeah, if there was a Pilot Wings game on the NES, like that more those types of games that seemed like they weren't necessarily amazing games, or they were very good Nintendo-made launch games. Those are the types of games that I felt like we saw a lot of on the NES Classic, and we see like none of those here, which isn't bad, because there really was only Pilot Wings. There's no like Ice Climber Super Nintendo, no Urban Champion Super Nintendo, but Pilot Wings, people are a big fan of Pilot Wings. The one on 3DS was good, and Pilot Wings is in Smash, so.
Pilot Wings 64.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on here, but it's not the worst omission, in all honesty. Like, I prefer having most of the games on here over Pilot Wings, except Street Fighter.
Donkey Kong Country 2, though.
Yeah, that's a big. It's not a big like no that they don't have it, because like at least they got one on there. Because I can't imagine them really.
No, yeah, they're gonna get one.
Yeah, they're gonna get Donkey Kong Country 1, but like 2 would have just topped it off. But then they'd also need 3, and they don't want to bring attention to 3 probably.
They don't need 3.
Dude, if you're gonna put 2, you gotta put the trilogy. If you're gonna
No, you don't.
You either put Here's how it works. You either put 2 alone, you either put 1 alone, or you put them both and you include 3, and they just put 1.
Not if it's Castlevania. That logic does not.
Here's the thing, though. All the Donkey Kong Country games are good, though. Even 3, that's not necessarily the best.
No, 3 is a good game. I'm not gonna say that it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just the weakest of the 3.
No, but like a long shot too. But yeah, but I guess that's it for the games. There's only one more thing to really talk about, and that's, do you think Nintendo's gonna stock enough of the thing? Because, like I said, me and Silvery were lucky enough to get an SNES Classic. I got mine. I was literally on campus at my college, and I was in between classes, and I just happened to open Twitter at the perfect time on my computer and see NES Classic is live on Best Buy. Go get it. And I didn't even think about it. I went on
the NES?
Yeah, the NES Classic. I clicked it on Best Buy, and it wasn't like day one. This was like in, I believe, February I got it. I got mine. No, it wasn't. Yes, February, because I was in a certain university. But in February, I got mine. And this thing released in November. And I have been trying to get it since launch. So I managed to get an NES Classic literally by luck. Because by the time I purchased it, I went back onto the main page, and I went back to Twitter, sold out. Sold out off of Best Buy. And I tried to like see if I could catch it again. Not to purchase it, just to see if I could like see, oh, like would I be able to? Never. And they discontinued the thing. They have said that they are going to drastically improve the production on this system, but that's still scary, because one thing they also said is that this is going to be pretty much it's going to be rolling out continuously through 2017, and they didn't say and it sounded like they were saying, oh, it's not going to come out in 2018, we're only having this during 2017, which is kind of scary.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, but I definitely believe they're going to increase production.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, they have to.
There's no way they're gonna. I mean, I'd say that, but Nintendo's been having stocking issues since the fucking Wii.
Yeah.
So.
I'd say even before then, the NES, dude.
That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, not with the Wii U. Aw.
Rest in peace, Wii U.
Yeah, rest in peace, buddy.
Wonderful 101 was an okay game.
Hey, that was one of my favorites, dude.
I played 10 minutes of it, dude.
Alright, but go on.
What do you mean go on? Star Fox 2.
Yeah, that's another thing. They have to stock this because they have a whole new game in there, dude. They have to stock this.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't call a 25-year-old game new.
But it was never released, so. But it's
maybe it'll
so
be
cool.
something different for Star Fox.
Yeah. And we're getting new official Star Fox characters now, which is super cool. Like, this is such a cool announcement, and like I think everything about it is great except the same issue. Like it's literally just making the NES Classic sequel, obviously with Super Nintendo, and literally just somehow making it better, but even like with less games, because they literally just got the main games.
Well, because you get 3 full RPGs with this.
Yeah, that's true. And like we said before, I'm still in shock that Star Fox 2 is releasing, man. Like that's pretty insane.
You could sell this thing with just Final Fantasy VI alone, and people would buy it.
I wouldn't say that. Final Fantasy VI and Star Fox 2, yes, but
like, that's all.
I'd probably buy it just if it had Star Fox 2, because I want to play Star Fox 2.
Dude, you put any console in front of me and tell me, hey, you could play Super Mario RPG on the go, or not on the go, but you could just pick this up and take it wherever you go, so long as there's a TV. And I'm fucking sold.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. And
That,
I'm not even
that was
mad.
the one game when I saw the grid, I was like scanning. Where's Super Mario RPG? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yes.
I have not beat that game. I played it before, and I got up to the woods with like the Yoshi with the shades, and then I don't know, life got in the way. I stopped. Boshi. But I can tell you, with my NES Classic Edition, I pretty much had one game that I wanted to beat on that. I messed around with a bunch of the games, but there was one game that I hadn't beat that I really wanted to beat, and that was the original Legend of Zelda. And I did it right before Breath of the Wild came out, like literally 2 days before Breath of the Wild came out. And I'm really happy. Like, even though I got it more as a collector's piece, because I'm not really gonna play all those games on the NES Classic. I'm really happy that I got to play
you could
the original
always
Zelda.
Add more.
Yeah, you could mod it, but I got to play the Legend of Zelda on an NES controller in HD, and that's super cool in all honesty. And I can do it with Mario 1, 2, 3, and Zelda 2, and Mega Man 2. It's great. But here's the thing.
Don't forget about Bubble Bobble.
I'm looking at the games on the SNES Classic, and I'm gonna list you off all the games that I want to play, like genuinely, like not 100% through maybe, but I want to play. I want to at least beat on them. Super Mario World, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Kirby. I don't need to be Kirby Superstar again, but I'd like to. Super Mario RPG, Super Punch Out, Donkey Kong Country, Star Fox, Earthbound, Mega Man X, Yoshi. I beat Yoshi's Island already. I don't need to, really. But that's already like so many more.
Did you say Castlevania and cut out, or did you just skip over it?
I skipped over Castlevania because like that whole.
The fuck's wrong with you?
The whole middle section I didn't need to play, but
Hey, whoa! Super Castlevania 4.
Here's the thing.
I would say one of the best.
I'll still play those games. I just probably won't take the time out of my day to really beat them. But the games the games I listed, I basically want to take my time and 100% those games. That's a lot of games. I still want to play F-Zero when I have the time. Thing is that I have F-Zero on my SNES already, so I don't really need to ever. But I like. This is so cool. It's so cool. Like, I feel like we talk so much about this little system that has really old games, but the concept is so cool, and they got the games perfect. I feel.
I wouldn't say perfect. I'd say almost perfect.
Well, nothing in this world is perfect. Like we would differ. Like, honestly,
that's not true. That's not true. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is perfect.
All right. Here's the question.
Put a picture of her.
I was planning on it. Here's the thing. Do you think they'll make an N64 Classic Edition?
No.
No?
They don't have enough games to do that.
I wouldn't. I would say they would have a less of an amount, but...
Because what do you got? You got Super Mario 64, you got Mario Kart, you got the 2 Zelda games, Star Fox, Kirby. I mean, without Rare, you're missing.
That's a big thing.
You're missing a huge chunk of games.
That is a really big thing. Would they be able to get at least? They don't need Banjo 2, but
they would get Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, that's it.
They would get Donkey. No, they could get Donkey Kong. I feel like if they worked hard enough, they could get Banjo. If Nintendo Nintendo probably could get Banjo 1 on it, but I feel like Nintendo themselves would not put the effort to go and get Banjo.
Plus, if they're gonna try to keep this like kid friendly, we're gonna miss out on
GoldenEye,
Conquer, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark.
But
we're gonna miss out on all those games.
I'm thinking, what else on the N64 could they honestly put? Could we get Earthbound 64? No, I'm joking.
The unreleased Metroid 64?
No, that's right. There's no. I always forget there's no Metroid. I could see us getting Smash Bros. They never
Mario Party.
Yeah, no, we definitely. I feel like
Mario Party 2.
We'd definitely be getting Mario Party 1, 2, and maybe 3.
No, we wouldn't.
No,
we would not be getting 1.
Oh no, not. I just remembered the horror stories of your hand. Yeah, definitely just 2 then, but.
And they're not gonna re-release 3 because they hate me.
Well, what else? I don't think they're gonna do an N64 Classic Edition. At least. I'm hesitant on it. I'm not gonna say that they're not gonna do it, but they're not gonna do it so soon. I feel like they.
I would say what seems like the next
Game Boy.
Yeah.
Game Boy. Yeah, I feel like Game Boy too, and I don't feel like they'll have Pokemon on it. In all honesty, I feel like Pokemon Company's gonna be like, Fuck yeah.
Might get Pokemon trading card game.
Here's the thing. Do you think it's just gonna be a little handheld, or do you think it's gonna be like a little Game Boy that like has a little stand and you just hook it up and it connects HD to the TV like a GBA port, like a Super GBA or whatever?
It'd be pretty cool if you could like, if it was a handheld, but you could like Sonic 3 and Knuckles it to the fucking Super Nintendo, like the Super Game Boy.
Well, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that, but that would be honestly amazing. Oh, where's my Super Game Boy on this list of 21 games? I want to be able to play like 75 more. Oh gosh. Yeah.
What games would you want for the Super Game Boy?
Yeah. Super
Classic.
We gotta get Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong on there. I want Donkey Kong Land.
No, it's just Donkey Kong.
Oh, it is?
It's just Donkey Kong.
I want Donkey Kong on there. I want, what's it?
Yeah, you do, because it's the best game released for the fucking system.
Donkey Kong Land. Super Mario Land 1 and 2 obviously are important. I'm trying to think.
Wait, whoa. Donkey Kong Land?
Yeah, I said Donkey
Not Donkey Kong Land 2?
I said 1, 2, and 3.
We already got the first Donkey Kong Country.
Those games are different.
No, that's the oh my god.
Nah, dude, they're different. Are they different? I feel like they're slightly different, but not very different. Are they ports? I don't know. I really don't know. Cause
Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby Dream Land 2.
Yeah, those are good games. Those are really good games.
Kid Icarus 2.
They probably actually would put Kid Icarus 2 just because there's not much I can see them putting. Tetris they had to put.
Oh man, they didn't put it on the NES.
Yeah, but Tetris on the Game Boy, I feel like Tetris is so much more synonymous
Yoshi's
with
Cookie.
the Game Boy. Yoshi's Cookie. What else could they put? Do you think they could put Game Boy Color games as well?
Yeah, why not? Throw Shantae on there.
For sure, Metroid 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about that game.
Even though that game got a remake now. That's actually...
I feel like everyone forgot about that game.
Yeah.
And now suddenly it's a huge deal.
Could you imagine we get another Metroid 2 remake on the Game Boy Classic Edition? I feel like if we
not even Metroid 2, just the fan remake.
I feel like if they do a Game Boy, it might not be just the game. I feel like it might be the Game Boy Color or possibly the Game Boy Color and the GBA, so that way we can have just a big Game Boy line. Like
oh man, if we get the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, but if they do the Game Boy
what games would you like to see on that, Nick?
I'm trying to... Can we get the the Crash and Spyro crossovers? I had the Spyro one. It was so bad.
I would like Hamtaro, Ham Heartbreak.
All right. I feel like they should do that because there's not a whole bunch of GBA games they could put. Like Game Boy games they could put, because a lot of them are either already remade, and I'm not saying remakes are refraining it from being on the list, but Metroid 2, for example, I feel like it wouldn't be a huge loss because they have the Metroid 2 remake coming out literally in September, so whatever. But yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, they got like 4 billion Star Fox remakes, and they still put it on this one.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna not shit talk Star Fox.
I love Star Fox so much. Why does Nintendo...
No, I like Star Fox, but
Nintendo doesn't
kind of a train wreck.
It is a train wreck, but it's one of my favorite train wrecks. The best games on the 3DS. And it's just the port of the 64 one. Alright, so I think that's it. I think that's all we have to talk about. Star Fox 2 is coming out in this Super Nintendo Classic Edition, and that is amazing. That's pretty much all I have to say.
Final thing, top 3 games you're excited to play besides Star Fox 2.
Alright, besides Star Fox 2, top 3 games. They're gonna be games I haven't played before. Oh, shit. This is hard. Okay. Super Metroid.
Great game.
Super Mario RPG.
Fantastic game.
And I'm having a hard time choosing between Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, and Mega Man X. I'm having a very hard time choosing those 3. So
all right, that's more than 3.
Yeah, but there you go. That's my number 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. Your top 3.
Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Super Castlevania 4. All right, I'll throw that one in there too.
What about a 3? Give us a 3.
3?
Yeah. Have you ever
I
played?
want to say Mega Man X, but I've already played that game ad nauseum. So.
Have you ever played Super Metroid?
No, yeah, I have. Probably Kirby's Dream Course, because that's just a great multiplayer game.
All right. Sounds good. I wish it was online so I could play with you, but it's not, and it.
Well, maybe we can with the Nintendo Switch. Online virtual console. Maybe. $20 a month.
Year, chill.
$200 a decade.
I mean, I guess. Alright, so that's it for this discussion on the SNES Classic Edition. I know it's a small thing, but we had a lot to say about it because it was honestly really cool.
Like my...
Okay, shut up. But, yeah, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, all that stuff.
Hit that bell.
Yeah, hit that bell. But we'll be back for another discussion someday, maybe soon enough.
Sorry in advance.